Okay, so this is a 2018 Marin Pine Mountain. It's a steel 27.5 plus rigid hardtail. So 1x10. It's Deore. I always guess I say that right. I call it Deore. I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways, but I'm just going to go with it. Like I said, it's steel. It's a very, very comfortable ride. Even being rigid, I mean, for just single track and, you know, rocks and roots, just basic stuff, nothing too extreme. It's really comfortable. It really does a great job. It probably could do more than I'm honestly capable of doing on a mountain bike, just because I'm not as brave as some people. And I'm getting older and don't want to end up in the hospital and can't afford it. But it's a very capable bike, especially for the price point. I picked mine up used for about $350. It was already set up tubeless. The guy that I bought it from actually worked at a bike shop and did a fantastic job of tuning it up and getting it ready to go. So I can't brag on him enough. But I've been riding it for about a month. I've taken it on some gravel, some single track. I've really enjoyed it. The MSRP on it, I believe, through Marin's website is around $900, but I think you can get these online right now for around $600. And for what you're getting, it's really a good deal, even though it's rigid. I mean, most $600 hardtails don't have a fork that I would consider any better than a rigid fork, if not worse than having a rigid fork, just because of the weight. Plus you have the plus tires, and they're tubeless compatible tires, and they're also, or should I say, tubeless ready. The wheels themselves are tubeless compatible, and you know, that sheds some weight there along with just having a rigid fork. So it's really not a heavy bike considering it's a steel bike. I think it comes in around 30 pounds or so. I haven't ever weighed it, but it sure doesn't feel heavy. Now I'm running about 18 in the rear and about 16 psi in the front. I weigh around 200 pounds. It's a medium frame. I'm about 5'11", but I tend to ride a medium more so than a large, just because of it's more of a personal preference and comfort issue for me. I like to be a little bit more upright, and it is a 1x10. And it's, for what it is, it's a great bike. It came very well spec'd for the price point. I don't necessarily, like I said, see the rigid fork as being a negative, because it's just, it does what it's supposed to do. It absorbs some of the chatter, some of the shock. Being a steel frame, it's very supple, I guess would be the word. I'm running a 760 bar. They come with 780, but this one's been cut down. I switched out the stem to a Truvative. It's 60 millimeter, 7-degree rise. It's very comfortable. It's a good cockpit. You can actually get, I don't know, a lot of people may not realize it, but you can get a 27.2 dropper post that will work with this bike. They do make them. They're a little more expensive. I think the cheapest one I found is around $150 to $200, and the $150 being, you know, an external routed kind of bottom of the line but usable dropper, with P&W making a more, I guess, little bit better quality post that has a little bit wider range on the amount of drop too. I'm running Pedaling Innovation Catalyst pedals on this, and these, I don't know if you've never seen these, I suggest looking them up. I have some knee issues, and these are amazing. What they do to help is the way that it displaces your weight on the foot and you're forced through the pedal. It really changes the way the bike feels, and it has really helped me a lot as far as just having soreness in my knee. I've done 10, 12, 13 mile rides where normally after that I would be sore. I wouldn't necessarily be hurting bad, but I would be sore, and these have really, really helped. So look those up if you do a lot of long distance stuff and you have any kind of problems with your knees or back or anything like that. These may help. They're really wide. They're really long, but I've yet to have any pedal strikes. And that's on roots and rocks and everything else. I actually was running those on my timberjack, routing more rough stuff, and didn't have any problem. This bike has the 141 QR in the rear. Like I said, it's 1x10 Deore. It's got the Marin cranks here, cool little bear. It's got the 110 in the front with a quick release as well. I'm running a fender, a little Mucky Nuts fender. I had to do some modification to get it to fit right. So if you get one, just know you're gonna have to, you know, make a couple new holes on there to make it work. Using a Bontrager sport saddle, these are really comfortable for the price. These things are great. And just some cheap grips and bar ends from Amazon. The brakes are great. It's a 180 in the front and 160 in the rear. Haven't had any issues. They're just the Shimano's. I think they're an M400. I'm not real sure. I have to look it up to tell you the truth. But if you want an affordable plus size hardtail, or say you're a beginner and you have a $500, $600, $700 price range, I would almost say go with the steel hardtail like this one with a rigid fork. Ride it till you build some confidence, and then you can always, this is boost corrected, you could always upgrade to a suspension fork. You may have to change the front wheel or build a wheel for a through axle on some, a lot of the forks that are available, because it is a tapered head too. Say hi, Spudgy. It's my little buddy there. He's 14 years old and just had all his teeth removed. So he's doing pretty good. But I would almost recommend this to someone just starting out, especially it being a plus size. It's tubeless ready, sealant, some valve stems, you're good to go. And it really, the steel frame is great. It really absorbs that chatter, the small stuff. You just don't even feel it. The only thing that I have to say I really am not crazy about on this bike would probably be the fact that a lot of the contact areas where you've got the seat tube bolts, you've got like for the bottle cages, stuff like that, the paint's kind of thin in certain areas, which it may just be, just in those particular areas, because the rest of the paint looks really good, but it just seems like it chips a little bit. So, I may recommend to anyone that gets it, get you a little tube of touch-up paint, just to keep it from rusting. I've just used a good part tool grease on the seat tube and tried to keep it clean, keep it dry, and I've not had any issues. But that's really the only thing I think, with this price point, you're not going to get an immaculate paint job, but it does the trick, and it does a good job of holding up to most abuse. But it's mainly just around these little points, such as around the seat tube, and as you can see, there's just a little bit of rust there. It just chips off kind of easy. But I like the color. It's got tons of bottle stays. It's got rack mounts everywhere. Not bottle stays, bottle cage mounts. It's been a long day, I apologize, but I wanted to do this video while I had all the bikes moved and everything kind of out in the open. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, or if you've got one and like the video or have some recommendations, I'm always open to ideas. But that's all I have for this one. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hopefully we'll have more content coming soon. We're just kind of getting started doing this, and we have a lot of video that I just honestly have not had time to pull off the GoPro and do anything with because of work. But hopefully now we're going to have a little bit more time. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back with another video soon.